Hello there, and welcome to Sweet Child of Time. It's a podcast where we introduce a sweet child to Amazon's world of the Wheel of Time. I'm your host, Steve Barnes. We're listening to some Titanosaur right now. This song is called So Happy. I chose that song because I'm so happy. This song rules. This is off his latest album, Absence of Universe. Currently, it's in the top 20 of the Doom charts, which, hell, I mean, because there's like 20,000 Doom bands that are putting out albums daily. So if you make it up to the top 20, it's pretty damn cool. Titanosaur, you're going to find them on the links that I have down below. He's on Swamp Records. It'd be cool as hell to talk to him one day, but, you know, one day that'll come. I don't know. But for right now, I have another friend that's a musician that's here with me all the time. His name is James, and I'm going to say, I see you, James.
And I see you as well, into the light, baby.
You're on the side of the light now? Is that what you're saying? You're no longer a dark friend?
No, I just thought that's how the intro went. I already forget what we're supposed to do.
We think on our feet here. I mean, yeah. But it's going to turn out great. Everything runs smooth as silk here in Foul Orchard Studios. It is 12 o'clock and 15 seconds. We started right on time. This is great. Yeah, Titanosaur. I don't think I got a chance to play it for you before the show, James, but have you heard Titanosaur before?
I believe I have.
So you haven't disliked anything I played for you, right?
No, I think everything's rockin'. I get on a little keyboard and I have it set to the, Casio rock drum kit setting, and I go doo-doo-ch, doo-doo-ch.
Oh, smart.
I say, that's rock and roll.
Hell yeah, that's very smart.
I am referencing a very specific instructional video for keyboard drums.
Okay. I'm just
check it out, guys.
I'm flustered. I'm very flustered because I said his name 3 times, somehow he showed up. Like, the music was playing, and then I think we said Titanosaur, Titanosaur, Titanosaur. We actually have him in the studio with us, James. Do you see him there?
I do.
We see you, Titanosaur. Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming on the show. This is such a surprise. I'm glad that you're with us.
It was a long trip, but, I made it.
Yeah, that's right. You came from upstate New York. Is that correct?
Yep. Got some snow here.
Oh, you do?
Whoa.
You have snow too, right, James?
No, it hasn't snowed in a little bit. It was like 60 or 70 degrees a few days ago, and then it snowed out of nowhere, and now it's back to being okay. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's 27 degrees, I just see. Never mind. I haven't been outside. I was outside yesterday. I don't know what I'm talking about. I saw the Batman.
Oh, okay, right on. Well, was it darker and grittier than the Batman that you've seen in the past?
I mean, I've seen a Batman where the Joker cuts off his face, so no.
Yeah, I know he's like a child killer too, is what I understand. That Joker guy in the comic books, right?
I mean, he's an equal opportunity killer, so he probably... I've never seen him be like, hey, kid, you want to hear a joke and just stab him in the jugular? That's never happened, but I'm pretty sure in the many times he's just dropped gas onto an entire city, he's killed not only kids, also has killed dogs, goldfish.
Ugh. Cats, too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit. I'm anti-Joker already, just based on that. Jeff, have you seen The Batman yet?
No, I saw that it was 3 hours long, and I said, do I really want to sit in the theater for 3 hours?
I will
My
say,
man.
there is no scene that does not drive the plot. Generally, I'm someone who's like, make it 80 minutes and I'm good. This movie, there was one car scene that dragged on a little bit too long, but still the car scene added to the plot. I say 2 thumbs up, give it a watch.
I'm definitely hearing nothing but good things, even though it's 3 hours long. It's just I can't sit in a theater for 3 hours.
I'm with you, yeah. Anything that's lengthy that way, I'd rather wait till it comes on TV so I can watch it in chunks.
Yes, exactly, in chunks. And it's only going to be about 30 days, from what I understand, till it comes out on HBO Max. So.
Ooh.
In our new society, yeah, everything comes to us in our living rooms. It's fantastic. We make our music in our living rooms, guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're all one-man band types. Jeff, I wanted to ask just a wee bit about Titanosaur. We're going to be talking about Wheel of Time and books and crap, but I love my music. James and I talk recording a lot. You do everything one-man band, is that correct?
Yep, I do it all here on my Apple M1 Mini. Yeah, everything's done on through that. Guitars, drums. I use the and also just through GarageBand, all with free plugins. So
real drums or using we programming them?
So it's the GarageBand drum player that it has, and then I manipulate what they come up with.
Good job manipulating that. Those drums sound great. I was wondering if maybe you hired a guy or if you. I've never seen a video of you playing drums.
No, yeah. I spent a couple of years trying to find the right sound, getting the right mix. So I'm really happy with what I got about 2 years ago is when I finally hit the level that I was looking for. So
I'm learning from scratch. I got a drum set my nephew gave me last year. So I've been playing on that. And my plan was cassette recordings, do drums myself, keep it up myself. But now, since I've gotten this Google Chromebook and I'm doing podcasts on it, it's really easy to record. And I've already programmed 2 songs that me and Heather have been playing along with. And it's a change of life. This is all new to me. And I can now program drums that sound like real drums. I can run them through my effects. Because previously I was doing it on cassette. I would go on YouTube or go anywhere where there was free drums available. I would record snippets, and then I would just cassette loop those snippets and then run them through my pedals. That's how I was previously doing drums, which was fun, but it was very time consuming.
Yeah.
James, what's your process?
I've never not been digital, guys, since 14 years old.
I thought you had some instruments there too, though, right?
I mean, I have like a digital keyboard, but that's it.
Okay. Have you ever done drums on the key? That's my stepping stone. I was doing real drums, and then I was tapping the drums on the keyboard, recording that, and that's when I started doing like the tape loops. Mm-hmm. Have you ever tapped them out on the keyboards?
No, I just draw it into the piano roll, and then I throw a bunch of effects on it to make it sound cool. Like, there's this one really cool thing. It's called a shadow groove. At least that's what I've heard it. It's in a lot of, like, house music where you put a bunch of EQ and vocoder on the drum loop, and it just sounds so cool. In Bleach baseboards, there's a lot of, like, backing stuff that has that sound. Guys, try it out. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm learning how fun computers can be. I've turned my nose up to them for too long.
Well, I also do. I also have. Well, I haven't done it in a few years, but the Ray Gun Girls, which is more electronic based. So I do a lot of manipulation of drum loops and stuff like that with that one. Just add whatever echoes and reverbs and all that stuff, and get different sounds out of that. It's pretty cool.
Soundtrap here, which is a flawless system, especially for recording podcasts. Flawless. It has like a lot of drums you can choose from, and the one that I've found that I like the most is the first default kit. It's just called the Black Kit, and it's just the default, and it sounds better than all the rest of them. And when I put it through the pedals, it sounds like a real drum set.
I purchased this in 2006 at Sony Acid Music Studio, and it came with a sampler, like a CD of just loops, and I never use them. I was like, I turn my nose up. I make my own shit. But during pandemic, I was like, I like doing the loops, especially if you manipulate them, you make them your own. That's cool. I pulled out this CD, and a lot of songs that I'm doing now have these loops on it. And I'm waiting for the day Spotify's like, hey, this is an uncleared sample. And I'm going to say, whoever, in quotes, made that their own sample, they are illegal, okay? Because these are royalty free.
Well, I got a couple more things I want to go over with music before we get to our book segment. I have a huge correction to make. This is the correction department coming up, James, and I'm going to pop your face up so I can watch you. Okay, this is a big correction. Back in 1989, I attended a concert. I didn't know who the band was. I was scared while I was there. Very performative, shock rock. It was a band called the Dwarves. It was not a fellow called G.G. Allen. G.G. Allen came to Richmond, Virginia in 1993, and I did not attend that show. I was a man by that time.
Man, you were missing out.
That was already learned to dislike G.G. Allen by the time I was a man.
Okay, two quick things.
But it was the Dwarves it was a very contentious Dwarves show that I was at and left early.
Two quick things. One, you have gone down in the cool rankings because I was like, this dude has seen G.G. Allen. And then two, you could have seen possibly one of his last shows.
Yeah, because he passed away very soon thereafter. Mm-hmm. I heard from sources that it was a kind of a lackluster show in Richmond. Of course. Because he was kind of like going through the motions.
Yeah, he was on, like, heroin G.G. Allen would have sucked seeing live.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I wanted to make that correction. I made that statement, and my friend Ben called me out and was like, you did not see G.G. Allen, dude. That was the Dwarves that took you to. And I was like, okay. And another announcement I want to make. This is a big announcement. I have not been able to listen to Kanye's new album because he released it only on that stupid stem player. And I do not want to go to SoundCloud and try to find something. I found out, dear listeners, that if you go to stemplayer.com and you log in as Kanye, you just type in your email address is ye@gmail.com. It gives you full access to all the songs on Donda 2. So there you go. Yup. Little internet action for you.
I have zero interest in listening to that album.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did, so I haven't heard it yet, but now that I know. Are you a rap fan at all, Jeff? I've never heard you talk rap before.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Anything that makes me want to move, so nice groove. Of course, I can't remember anybody's name right now.
Of course. Marshland Monster, don't forget his.
You must love Atmosphere. I'm trying to think of like the most non-moving rap music I've heard. And Atmosphere, there you go.
Do you listen to anything current? If you listen to like any like current acts, like maybe Kid Cudi or Lil Yachty, any of those kind of guys?
Anything current? No. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything current. No. Damn it, this guy's name is stuck in my head and I can't get it out.
Hummus Beat, we'll figure it out.
No, he's one of the fastest guys. Everybody talks about him all the time.
Twista or Tech Nine?
Tech Nine. I really like Tech Nine stuff. I got a few of his albums.
Hell yeah.
That's what I was but
Legit.
yeah. And of course Wu-Tang. I like their stuff, and Method Man's stuff.
I was going to suggest that you like Wu-Tang when you were stumbling for who you like. I was like, you like Wu-Tang? I'm sure you do. I just heard a great story about Matt Besser was with those guys doing a prank show back in the 2000s or whatever, and they invited a young Ludacris into the studio to rap, except they pranked him and they played an impossible to rap to beat. Ludacris found the rhythm somehow, and it sounds like Tyler the Creator now. But the way he was rapping, the way he was working the beat, and he was doing it too good. So in order for them to like heighten the comedy, I think Matt Besser suggested that he do frog rivets in between verses. So he actually did that too, and it sounded good as well. And then that's when Redman was like, "Okay, we've been pranking you this whole time, dude."
He should have said, "We have unsuccessfully been pranking you, sir. You're too good.
Too good for us."
Yeah, exactly.
Did we say it in unison? I hope we did.
On my end, it was in unison.
Okay, I'm going to move on from our music segment because we always like to discuss books on this podcast. I have some book news myself, but first I want to ask our guest today, are you a book reader, Jeff?
Unfortunately, no. One of the problems I have is I cannot get past like 2 pages without falling asleep.
Do you read stuff like any like news articles or magazine articles or anything of that sort?
I try to read, but it's really tough. It's one of those weird things. Comic books I really do really well, but I stopped reading those back in because it was just costing way too much a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go with that. Comic books are books, dude. What was some of your favorites?
Oh, Jesus, I got like 4 boxes full of comic books from when I used to. I was a DC guy back
Wu-Tang?
then.
Did you read Wu-Tang?
No, I was a DC man back then, so I was a Batman guy. Justice League and Justice League International and what other variants there were at that time, I don't know. A lot of DC people seem to veer towards Image at one point. Did you ever read any Image comics? Well, I stopped before the other smaller labels started coming up.
Oh, dang! So you're pre-Spawn we're talking here?
Oh no, no, I know. My friend was into Spawn when I started stopping. So, yeah,
I did not read anything of that sort myself. I'm not going to talk about me. James, how about you with books, buddy? Anything you're reading lately?
I've been super busy just trying to get things done. Did a bunch of records this week and mixed some people's music. So, I mean, it's a good thing that I'm not reading because I'm busy. If I was just like, no, man, I've been watching more Double Dare, I've also been watching a lot of Double Dare. So,
yeah, you could turn that off and pick up a book if you want.
Well, I blitzed through that autobiography, and
you're finished with it.
I burned out a little, and then I picked up the Will Hanna autobiography, and I just need to finish through that.
Okay, I didn't know that you were finished with the first one. That's good news for us bookheads. I've got big book news. I've joined a book club.
Woo!
It's called There Is No Book Club. I'm going to provide a link for it because it's great, folks, and they got me into reading Leviathan's Wake, which is what I just started. I'm on chapter 2 right now, otherwise known as The Expanse. That's that TV show. It's based on this. It's great. I'm loving it. So now I'll slowly trudge through 3 books and probably get nothing from them because I always read them and fall asleep and then have to reread what I read the night before. That's how I put myself to sleep every night, Jeff, is putting on some atmospheric either black metal or doom metal with no lyrics and fall asleep reading.
That's what I used to do, but it got very frustrating because I would never get past the second page. So I
don't retain a lot of information that way, unfortunately, as well. I mean, what I was going to say, my joke was going to be, James, I was going to say, yeah, I've been busy too with work, been working overtime, have lots of, running around to do, been recording and rehearsing with Heather every day, but somehow I find an hour to read every day. So I was going to make fun of you a little bit there, but I won't do that.
I mean, all the other co-hosts I have would absolutely do that, and I think you should mature into that razzing that everyone else is so comfortable doing. No, I'm ready.
Anything else you guys want to bring up?
Whatever works.
All right, let's make this shit work. We're talking about episode 3 today of Wheel of Time. This episode's called A Place of Safety, directed by Mr. Wayne Yip. You might know him as a director of Doctor Who, and you're going to know him next year as the director of Lord of the Rings. He got onto that job. Congratulations, Dr. Yip.
Whoa.
Let's see. Jeff, were you watching Wheel of Time before I even invited you onto the podcast?
Yes, I watched. Yes, I watched it all.
Whoa!
So
That is fantastic. So you've already seen all the episodes.
did I fall asleep during episodes though? Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, perfect. So you can play along now and listen to these podcasts and watch the show, and you can stay awake now. You'll have a slight memory of maybe I dreamed about this scene.
Exactly. That's.
So James has not seen anything past what we're talking about, so no spoilies. But that's fantastic. So yeah, give us your 15, 30-second opinion of just what you've seen before I even asked you about this podcast. If I ran into you at the grocery store and said, I've been watching the show Wheel of Time, have you seen it? What did you think of it?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I like the series as a whole, and I like where it's going. For me, it's just that there are a lot of characters, so it's really hard to remember the names, and because of their accents, it's a little tough. So I got to watch with the closed captions. But other than that, I'm liking the little hints that are being left and the questions that are being brought up that keep you wanting to see the next episode, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, right on. There are lots of characters. Did you know in the book there are 2,700 named characters? Out of the characters that have a point of view chapter that you get inside their heads and you learn about them, there's 174 of them. So it is character heavy. So those subtitles on is going to be your strong suit. James and Jeff, when you go from episode 1 to episode 2 and then from episode 2 to episode 3, do y'all watch the little minute recap?
Absolutely.
Jeff's nodding his head yes. How about you, James?
If I just watched it, absolutely not. Like today, I'm like, oh, I know what happened in this episode or last episode. I skipped this one.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say you need to watch those recaps because the things that they focus on the recap are things that they're going to directly, affect this episode that we're on. Mm-hmm. Right. So, yeah, they're not just throwing random scenes up there. They're throwing scenes like this is what's going to come up later. Guys, I did another faux pas. I can't believe I made a mistake here in Foul Orchard Studios. I never make podcast mistakes, but I made a big one. We're supposed to take a break before we go into this episode. So I'm going to take a break real quick, guys. We're going to listen to a little bit of Telltale, and we're going to come right back and talk about this episode, okay? Is that okay with y'all?
Woke up at 10, down again. I guess I'll write another song about it. Obsessive, compulsive, I should probably get that medicated. I'm ugly on the inside, the outside matches most of the time. Cold night, my eyes wide, I wanna die. Fuck my life. Lie away. Shadows cast dark shapes They keep us in the dark like a mistake, but we can't run away to a lost place, 'cause there's no second star, just a heartbreak. Show me the lesson in 12-minute sessions. The drugs they've been pressing to keep us in check. I've still been stressing, anxiety messing up all my progression. I guess I should lie away, yeah. Lie away, yeah. From the whitewashed walls to the silent halls, when the bills get solved, you'll be standing tall. You better lie away, yeah.
Okay, and now we're back. We were listening to Telltale, y'all. They're from Richmond, Virginia. Happens to be my hometown as well. The songwriter, guitarist for that band is a Mr. Bryce Marshall, also a Richmond, Virginian. Also somebody I've known since he was about 4 years old and have probably camped with about 50 million times in the Boy Scouts. He's friends with my son. I've known him all his life. I'm going to probably cut half of this, but I'm so proud that Bryce has gotten to where he is. He's toured at the Vans Warped Tour with his previous band, Kept at Bay. He's out now again with Telltale. They're just releasing a video, which just dropped. In our time, it dropped yesterday. In your time, dear listener, you can already go to YouTube and check out Telltale's Lie Your Way Out. Let me see if they have an album coming out. I don't think they have a full album coming out, but they do have an EP that is being released in 3 weeks. You can pre-save that sucker by the link that I provide for y'all on there. Like I said, the video is already available. I've known this guy since he was a little Richmond baby punk. Now he's a man punk, and he's doing some Telltale stuff. Rude Records is where you're going to find them at, too. Fellas, are y'all still with me?
Yes, sir.
Do y'all still like me too?
You're so cool.
Okay, that's a good start. I like.
Oh, woo, sir! You're the greatest man I know.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. That. Again, James, you always go like a step further because I think you should. There's other men that are way better than me in your life, I'm sure.
Nah, my dad, 2 thumbs down. My grandfather's both dead.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law divorcing my sister.
Fuck him.
Actually, the other way, she is divorcing him. My brother in common law.
Bonnie.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, but he's not yet a man, I don't think.
Yeah.
He's still a boy.
Yeah, my dad, 2 thumbs down as well. My real dad, who adopted me, 2 thumbs way up. So he's probably the best
Hell
man
yeah.
I know, besides myself, of course. And you two guys, I've been a fan of both of y'all since before I even knew that y'all were real people. I thought y'all were like a dinosaur and a marsh monster, so I was scared. But y'all are real good guys, and so I'm very big fans of both of y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to hear a thank you. Again, it's all about me, y'all. It's not about y'all.
Wow. I was going to tell you, like, hey, you don't need to cut any of that beginning of being like, oh, I'm so proud of this person that I have seen grow into the adult he is. But now, you want to know what? Just cut everything of yours.
I plan on it.
Just do it.
No, I keep it all in. The only thing I cut out are the pauses and the misstarts. I'll even keep that in. See? Shit. But yeah, we're going to go back into episode 3, A Place of Safety. We're going to begin. It starts with a cold open. Nynaeve is being dragged by a Trolloc. I remember James mentioned last time, like, I'm glad we didn't see, like, Nynaeve being a prisoner somewhere, which we kind of did, but this was much cooler. She was being dragged away to be eaten. It's well known that these Trollocs, like, eat everything. She witnesses one of these Trollocs, looks like it's getting ready to have like a moment of compassion, like, "Oh, my wife, are you okay?" But then it like brutalizes brutalizes her right there. These Trollocs are pretty brutal creatures. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah. I have a note on this. I said
Yeah, me too.
Trollops they're cannibals, aka resourceful in war.
Yes, that is one of their strong points. Is like when they defeat an army, they have food right there.
Yeah, there you go. That's what the United States Army should be doing. We wouldn't have to be sending over rations every time they need to eat. No, you eat what you kill, or as Gigi Allen would say, he kills what he fucks.
I mean, I guess it's a good system, but I mean, this is what I wanted to bring up. This is really why I wanted to bring it up, because we're seeing the Trollocs in their true form here. And if you're a dark friend, not you, James or Jeff, but if you in general are a dark friend, these are your allies. These are the guys you're working with. For example, the peddler, Padan Fane. It was obvious he was working with these guys.
Whoa, he was? That wasn't obvious to me.
Well, remember when they were getting like murdered, and we even brought it up in the podcast. Like he just kind of casually strolled off while watching everybody get murdered.
That's him just... That's like, hey, I want to go to the Super Bowl, but I don't want to pay for it. If you just casually walk in, no one's going to say anything. It looks like you're supposed to be there. So if he just casually leaves, the Trollops are going to be like, oh, he's not blood-curdling Scream. I guess he's with us?
Well, let's just say this, James. These Trollocs are definitely tools of the Dark One. And you keep saying you're Team Dark One.
Yeah.
And in real life... I know that you're probably not a dark friend, but I do know that you are a Satanist. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The first tenet of Satanism that all Satanists must adhere to. Do you know the 7 tenets of Satanism, James?
Are you talking about that LaVeyan bullshit? Get out of here. I'm saying real to life Satan, dude. I'm not like, oh, hey, I want to see a dude with a Van Dyke and a bald head talk about philosophy. No, I want to see Satan in his glorious form. And again, I've said it on my show. The H is capitalized. We're taking it back from Jesus and that Lord.
Jeff,
that's what I was going to ask. Which satanic? Because there's the Satanic Temple from Albany, and they're the ones who have the 7. Was it 3 tenets or 7 tenets? Something like that.
7 tenets. Yes.
Yeah, and so those I actually agree with most of them, and
Me too.
I support them because they do some great stuff against the anti-abortion people.
Yeah.
And they're doing some great stuff right now in Texas and Florida, supporting LGBTQ people. So
Hell yeah.
I agree with that too. That's what I wanted to say to James. Is like the tenets of Satanism are all more or less honorable, and the church itself does not act as like a greedy, self-serving church. And you know, I like that you associate yourself with that kind of thing. But if you're spitting in the face of that, saying fuck LaVeyanism, Satanism, that you're doing your own thing, you're loving these Trollocs, ripping guts out and making necklaces with them. I mean, is that where you're at?
Of course, I'm doing this for comedy. Like I'm exaggerating and playing things up.
I know you
Obviously.
are. I am too.
Except I am. When I die, I hope to be a spawn, like for Satan.
Oh,
That's
yes.
what I want the afterlife to be. I am spawn, and I'm just I don't think I would be like the warrior for him. I would be a personal assistant spawn.
That's kind of like what Black Angel is about, right?
I don't know.
Your song, Black Angel.
I don't know what that is.
It's a song a Marshland Monster song. I remixed it. You talk about
that
transforming
song.
yourself. Yes.
I thought it was like a TV show. That's my least favorite song on that album. So I always.
What, Black Angel? Wow, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one I gravitated to. You are a dark friend, and I am a child of the light. We're so different. So yeah, I'm going to go back on here. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry about that. Did you have anything else to say about that, James or Jeff?
To me, just in case nobody noticed, the Trollocs really look like that one guy in Time Bandits on the boat that they try to fix his back.
Yep.
It's almost the same facial features that they got with the horns and the way the jaws sticks out.
I didn't even make that connection. You're absolutely right. Have you seen Time Bandits, James?
I haven't.
Oh my goodness.
Put it on your list. It's one of the best. It was a child-raising movie. I was moved by that. That's why I like the shit I like, is because of that movie, The Time Bandits. You're probably going to hate the director of it, of course. Who directed that again, Jeff? I forget. Somebody great who does lots of great movies.
Yeah,
he also
of course
did not Real Big Fish. He did the movie Big Fish.
Yeah, and he did Leaving... I'm forgetting all the names.
Wait,
Fear
Tim
and
Burton?
Loathing. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, who is it?
Baron Munchausen, and I can't remember. He's one of the Monty Python.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam.
Terry
That's
Gilliam.
it.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, I don't mind him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know that you have a strong opinion against. Who were we talking about? We were talking about a couple directors and that I loved that are classically loved directors, and you're like, fuck both of them.
Kubrick and Lynch. Screw them. Lynch is 80% for comedy. Kubrick is 100%. I don't understand why people enjoy that person. I can understand why people like Lynch. But Kubrick, 2 thumbs down. If I was Goro from Mortal Kombat, 4 would be down. And my huge hog.
I have a feeling we're going to come together on this Time Bandits thing, though. That was a great suggestion. I'm glad you brought that up because I want to go rewatch that movie now myself. Let's get back to the Wheel of Time, though. She takes that opportunity. We're going back to when Nynaeve is watching these Trollocs do their thing. She takes that opportunity to run. She runs to hide in the cleansing pool. This is the same pool that she goes and hides in that they cleaned Egwene in earlier before her river trip. She was scrubbing it out fastidiously when she had that scene with Moraine earlier. So, yeah, this pool is like a sacred place, and she has to use it for killing a Trolloc inside. Slow-mos out of the water like a damn predator. Kills the Trolloc with its own weapon. This is like the 3rd Trolloc she's killed with her hands with no weapon. She is supposed to be a healer, a wisdom of a village, and instead she's this badass. So my question is Nynaeve not a badass?
So I'm sorry. So in my notes, I got Nynaeve, a strong woman. So I mean, to me,
that's a badass.
Yes.
She is badass. When you said, is she not a badass, I was like, I need to think of how to answer this properly.
Is Nynaeve a badass? I edited my question. Is Nynaeve a badass?
Yes.
I want to hear us all.
Yes.
I want to hear Titanosaur roar
Yes,
that
sir.
she's a fucking badass.
Oh, absolutely. And I love her coat.
Her coat? I can't get past her braids. I didn't pay attention to her coat.
Oh, first it's a great green, but it's also like a long all the way down, and
I remember now. She was wearing it when she was doing the herb thing a little later on. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this scene in particular, and I didn't remember her coat.
Oh.
I just remember her being very badass. As she kills this trollop, as we like to say on this podcast, looks like a yin-yang symbol to me in the blood that she spurts out of. Did y'all see that?
Yes, I noticed that as well.
I did not. I was more focused on the I just kept saying, they're tainting the holy waters.
Yeah.
And the instant that Trollop would have hit that warm water, he would have just started peeing.
Yes, absolutely. I like how he was like battling the water. Like, they hate water. So he was sitting there like stabbing it like, fuck you, water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what the I don't know if you were going to say this next. I might be jumping ahead, but the way that the dark blood flowed into the lighter blood inside the pool. Does blood do that? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Maybe I'm thinking that like the first spurt of blood was just like your everyday normal blood, and then like the rest of the blood coming out was all that heart juice and all that like real good gutty blood. Maybe.
Heart juice.
Couldn't that also be like the trollop poison or whatever?
Ooh, I think that's it. That's why we have you, James. Thank you. So that symbol like fades right into our title sequence. Title sequence, the first thing we see is a thread being broken. I keep telling you the world is broken, and there's proof all over the place. The patterns reweaving its weave. James, did you watch the title sequence this time?
I'm glad you asked because I sure didn't.
Back in the bathroom again, eh, my friend? You're gonna have 6 more chances after this episode to watch it. So we'll keep checking in with you.
Guys, spoiler: I will not.
So right off the bat, we got Nynaeve and Lan. She confronts him. She says that. No, he says to her that she needs to help Moraine in order to help her friends. It's one of these classic video game level up things where they, it's a good plot device. It's great. Eventually, though, Lan gets the upper hand. And there's 2 things I wanted to say about this before I open up the floor for discussion. First is that Nynaeve will kill. Like he said to her, "You're not going to kill me." She made a killing thrust. So Nynaeve, again, strong woman, badass, whatever you want to call her, she will kill. Second, Lan wasn't expecting her to do that, and yet he was still able to respond and get the upper hand. So both of these are equally badass characters. Those were my notes from that scene. Did y'all have anything?
Yeah, can she lie?
Yeah, she's just a wisdom. She's not an Aes Sedai.
Okay, then never mind. I thought it was kind of the same thing. Also, then one of my notes here of saying, "What is a warder without her wisdom? Without their wisdom?" Doesn't make sense because I thought just wisdom was like, oh, that's people who can do magic.
That's a good song title, though. What is a warder without his wisdom?
Yeah.
Or a lyric, anyway. How about you, Jeff? Anything before we go on?
No.
Sounds like it. Say it.
No, I got nothing.
Okay. I didn't know if you were apprehensive to bring up a very sensitive point about perhaps Rand yelling into the air, saying Egwene. Rand is yelling in this next scene.
They're so stupid.
I know.
There's
trying to. Yeah, go ahead, please.
moat around this town. Just circle the moat until you get to the entrance and that's obviously where people would be meeting up. That's where what's-his-face was, the warder. Why?
Right.
I truly thought the next episode would be like, hey guys, we're here. We're smart. We circled around the town and found each other.
It didn't seem like a very hard thing to think about doing. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, the whole time, he's questioning the logic of the whole plan. He seems like he's kind of thinking on his feet here. He kind of doesn't want to go through with it. But we learned that, Rand definitely has faith in Egwene. He wants to go where Egwene goes. I'll take that opportunity to switch over to Egwene and Perrin. They're running from wolves or doing all kinds of stuff with wolves here. It's obvious that Perrin has faith in Rand. They're starting a fire. He's starting a fire, doing a shit poor job. Egwene steps in with some magic that, Perrin was not aware that she could do, but he did not seem fazed by the fact that she could do magic. He was just kind of like, oh, yeah, while you're at it, can you get us some dinner, too? So, yeah. Did y'all think that was weird that he just immediately accepted that?
No.
I didn't think twice about that.
I thought he knew that she could do magic because she got that braid.
Well, no, that just means that she can listen to the wind, that she can predict weather, and that she can heal. Like, being able to start a fire is that's an Aes Sedai thing. That's not a wisdom thing.
Damn. Maybe she's the dragon.
I know, right? One of these 4 are definitely the dragon. And maybe it's her. We're going to skip them. We're going back to Nynaeve is now tied up. Yes, please.
I had some more stuff on them hanging out. I'm so glad Perrin stepped in when she's like, I gotta go back to town. I was like, seriously, is this what this show is going to be? Two of them are like, she's gotta be in the White Tower, so let's go there. And then she's like, well, he's not going to the White Tower. He's going back home for me or whatever. And if they would have split up, I would have been so pissed, but I'm glad they didn't. 2 thumbs up there. And I had to remember, like, they were wet, so because it's so windy, that's why it would be so cold. But you couldn't see their breath, so at first I was like, it can't be that cold.
Yeah, no, we're talking to a Chicago guy here and an upstate New York guy. I mean, get with it. Let's see, I was about to head on to, unless we have any more about that discussion, about those 4. We'll head back to Nynaeve then. We'll head back to the older kids. Nynaeve's tied up. Moraine's in rough shape. Again, they just want to give her all the best lines. You know, she says that she better help me if I help her. Is that a demand? Nope. It's a threat, you motherfucker. Pretty much points out that she is the one that's in the power position, not Lan. She's smart enough to realize that, and she's smart enough to, express that fact. So we get some, looks like some real hippie magic here with some flowers and trees and herbs. She's a real earth child. Anything you guys want to, before I get into my next topic here, anything y'all want to discuss here at this point?
So maybe I missed something in the previous episodes, but why does she think that the Aes Sedai is stealing or doing something bad to those kids?
Because she just doesn't trust Aes Sedai in general. That's kind of like a general thing in the world, is like people recognize that Aes Sedai are powerful and they can do magic. But I don't know if it's really, this is not a spoiler. I mean, it hasn't been discussed in the show yet, but people are kind of leery of Aes Sedai because they can do magic and they can't lie. Everybody knows that they cannot lie and they're not able to, but they also know that they're smart enough to be able to twist their words around in such a way that they're not lying. So yeah, that's why she just doesn't trust Moraine.
Well, also because the last wisdom of the town was turned away by them, something like that, and I think that's why she has distrust in them. Yeah,
personal vendetta. Yep.
In the beginning of this scene, I started chanting to Nicole, "Tie her up, tie her up,"
and he did it. He heard you.
Yeah,
but then he let her free though to help some healing. She made some homemade Neospore and stuck it in there. I think that'll be okay. What I wanted to go on here, though, is she had a nice little medicine kit there. I don't know if that was Moraine's kit or if Nynaeve had foresight before she got attacked by Trollocs to grab all her magic like teacups or whatever. But she was doing something that we call muddling when she was mixing up those herbs. Are any of you guys familiar with muddling?
Yes.
Were you a bartender, Jeff?
No, but I do have bartender friends.
Gotcha. How about you, James?
I've never been drunk a day in my life, so I had no idea.
I haven't been drunk, I don't think, in 20 years. Not because I was a pre-alcoholic, just because I don't like alcohol in general. But yeah, I served it. I happily served it at a bar at Applebee's in the mall. So because we were a mall Applebee's, we got the elderly crowd that would do the mall walking. We got a lot of the employees in there after work. So old fashions were always on the menu. We were always having to muddle up the orange and the cherries, and that's exactly what that scene reminded me of, is a muddling up in Applebee's. So I want to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about the Applebee's Minute.
It's got to be Applebee's.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers always crossed. So at Applebee's, that's where I got my start as a young man when I newly divorced, had a baby. We had joint custody, but I had more or less more custody, I suppose. I guess is a fair way to say it. I was trying to let his mom, Christy, do as much as she could. So I was taking on a lot of responsibility. I got a job at Applebee's. My friend Naomi, who I was tight with, we both had kids that were the same age, little babies. Naomi was one of my best friends. R.I.P. Naomi. She led a rough life. She's not with us anymore, but she is the one who opened the door to Applebee's to me. Without Naomi, I never would have gone to Applebee's. I never would have met someone named Heather Freeman. We never would have flirted at work, and we never would have gotten married, and we never would have had a child named Charlotte together. In fact, this Applebee's was the place to work in, I guess it was 1998. If you were looking for a husband or a wife or any kind of mate, because I counted, there was 11 of us that worked there at that time, meaning 11 couples that ended up getting married at that time.
Wowzers.
Yeah, there was something in the water at Applebee's. There was a fellow in the back who, I had to bring this up, a fellow named Franklin. Big fellow, worked in the back, and I know we have a cat named Franklin that's in our family here that RIP as well. This Franklin would, they played a lot of hip hop in the kitchen, and Franklin was really into hip hop as well, and he was a very big, had a big presence. He would whistle to every song, damn it. He would harmonize, he would add a track, but he did it all the time. You could not escape the whistling sound of Franklin coming from the kitchen. I can't tell you how annoying that is, and that's the first person I thought of. Who are you thinking of right now that hates whistling, James?
Howard Kramer doesn't.
Absolutely. The first time Howard Kramer brought up the Whistlers, I was like, he would hate Franklin, who was like the best dude in the world, the friendliest guy in the world, and also the most annoying whistler in the world.
My Franklin in the kitchen would just be in a cupboard snoring.
That's cute.
Yeah,
do you have any
he
pets,
was adorable.
Jeff?
Do I have any pets?
Yes.
Was that the question?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I got two dogs.
Cool.
Sadie and Sammy.
Now they accompany you on your Sunday morning zens. Is that correct?
Sometimes, yes. Yeah, I usually film those when I am out walking them in the mornings.
Yep, I've seen them before. I just wanted to bring them into the conversation because I love those like Sunday morning videos you put out. I like them a lot. I recommend them for anybody listening.
Yes, a little pause before you turn up the loud music.
All right, Applebee's is over. We're back. She mentions the water bond. Is this the first that we've mentioned the water bond in the show, guys?
I don't remember it.
It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. Well, Nynaeve kind of explains here. She says, "I understand that the water has a strong bond with her Aes Sedai. This is going to hurt Moraine. So, brace yourself. This is going to hurt you too." So she makes like a little raspberry pie there on her chest and squeezes juice out. It looks terrible. Lan does not even flinch. I don't know if that's an actor's choice or if we're supposed to know that Lan is indeed a real badass. Did you guys have any thoughts about that?
Well, the camera did sort of close in on his face a little bit, and I could see a small flinch. But yeah, he was, I think, showing how strong he was, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to be, is a stoic warrior that flinches at nothing. How about you, James? Anything at this point?
Yeah, when she went on the wound, I said, "Oh man, she's just getting in that pussy." And Nicole goes, "Don't say it like that, James."
Yeah, I agree. Don't say it like that, James.
Too bad I did.
And you said it again on film.
This isn't film. Right. This is ones and zeros, baby.
I can see y'all. This is film to me.
Oh yeah, I guess.
And nobody ever takes sips of water while at podcasts. I don't see that happening. It just doesn't happen. So we're going from this scene to Perrin is. I think, guys, I'm not sure how much more time we're going to go because I have like a whole nother 2 other pages of notes. I know we got a very late start here. How much longer should we go, guys? I'm going to ask y'all that before we continue.
I'm at the hour mark right now on my record. So if you want to cut it...
I'm asking how y'all's fortitude is right now, or if y'all need to go or anything like that.
Well, I have an interview with Entertainment Weekly and one with CBS News and
Good Morning America. Don't forget them.
And Mark Cuban is interested in investing in the band, and so I've got a lot of stuff lined up after this call.
Yeah, okay. I think this is a good cutting point because we're just getting into that town, right?
Not yet. I was going to go into Perrin's dream, and then we'll go into the town. Maybe we can start there next time.
Yeah, let's start there next time.
Okay. All right. So next scene we got here, we got Perrin waking up from a storm. He's fully clothed. He's in a nice house. So we're pretty sure this is a dream immediately. I was confused just for the first time I saw this, I was confused for a brief half second before I realized, oh yeah, he's being chased by wolves right now. That didn't fool either one of you guys though, did it?
No. Because immediately I saw in the window, I was like, oh sir, there's a freaky out there. Because you could see 2 red eyes. I was like, that's not a glare on the window. That is someone out there.
Okay, yeah. So it's a dream. Obviously, he's. We see at one point he gets superimposed with that ember-eyed man, and that's how Perrin described him in the last episode. He said he has eyes like ember, which of course that's his frame of reference because he's a blacksmith. He sees Layla. It's a pretty creepy scene. Got a wolf eating Layla's chest out. She looks at him. I'm no dream expert, but what does that mean when someone is eating a woman?
Well, it wasn't her chest. That was towards her womb, I thought.
Yeah. That wolf was going to town, eating all the innards. But yeah, my joke didn't fall over. That's okay. I'm used to that. We wake up though, and Egwene's like, "Hey, we're getting chased by wolves now." They are burning calories because not only are they running and walking and not getting a lot of food, but they're also panicked and scared. And you know that really gets your metabolism going. I mean, really gets your blood pumping. So they are in fit shape right now. Running through some beautiful scenery. I think
maybe that's why I have good metabolism because I'm constantly anxious and in a state of panic.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to bring up is when I'm going through my my mood swings, ups and downs, especially when I'm up and I have my manic energy. I mean, I just burn calories right off just without even thinking about it, just by being myself. So yeah, these guys must be in great shape running around scared from these wolves. And the wolves and Trollocs have one thing in common. They love to run through the woods and chase people. And James, if you were in this Wheel of Time world, would you? I think you wouldn't be exactly hanging out with the Trollocs because I don't think they really take friends. But would you? Who would you rather run through the woods with?
Ah, man.
I mean, the wolves might attack you, but the Trollocs may or may not be your friend. It's kind of a gamble.
Am I scratched like Perrin is?
No, you're you dropped into this world, and you get the choice of yeah.
I would probably go with the Trollocs just because they're more human-like.
Right. So you want to run
and I'd be like, hello, friends!
And join their crew, right?
Yeah. I'd be,
right.
How do you do? I'm new here. Can you please show me around?
I agree. That was my answer, too, because I think wolves would run a lot faster, and I wouldn't be able to keep up with them, so it wouldn't be as fun. I'd be like, hey, wait up, guys. But the Trollocs, I think I could hang with the big guys in the back. How about you, Jeff? Which crew would you run with?
I have no idea. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. Jeez. Oh,
Charles, did we lose somebody?
did we lose
Yeah,
him?
I think we lost
No.
Steve.
Well, I can hear him.
Probably
I
through Soundtrap you can hear him.
Oh, right.
That also
What
might be
happened?
why he's like clippy a little, because he's got both running.
Right. Now, how do I get?
Hey, something just happened here. We think we lost James.
I just realized that I'm a little out of focus.
So can. So who can hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So so everybody can hear me.
Yeah.
So I've got James on Discord and I've got Steve on Soundtrap.
But we can't come together. Oh no. Well, this
So
is a
you all
perfect
hear
place to
me.
stop then, I guess.
I
Jeff, you are
can't
a
hear
translator.
Steve, and I'm guessing he can't hear or see me.
Hey Jeff.
Yeah.
How does James look right now? Does he look okay?
James looks fantastic. He looks like I would like to, date him maybe in the future.
Oh, I've already thought that. So hands off.
Oh, he took his hat off.
Does that change your mind? I think the hair is good.
James. So Steve just said that you look horrendous when you take off your hat,
Oh.
and
See, now he's getting into the razzing spirit.
no. Steve said maybe this is where we should stop then.
Yeah.
So
Did James agree with that?
Steve,
James said, yeah.
We can make everything happen here in Foul Orchard Studios. The world's our
if
oyster.
Steve wants to just be like, hey,
tell James
you could make it
that
seem like I dropped the
we are
call
gonna do
and you
plugs
guys finish
now,
up the episode
and
together.
that we want to hear Jeff's plugs first. Will you tell James that?
Yeah, well, Steve, that's pretty much what James was saying. James was saying at the same time why don't, since you're recording, why don't you just say that James dropped out of the call and we'll finish up here.
Smooth as silk, like a can of peaches coming out.
There you go.
Jeff, now that we finished talking about Wheel of Time, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Matt and Rand coming into town later. We ran out of time this episode with all the fun we were having. But, Jeff, will you give us one more time? Who are you and what do you got going on?
I'm Jeff with Titanosaur, and I've got lots of stuff going on. Just find me over Titanosaur Rocks on any of the socials. That's I've got that same ID everywhere. And on Bandcamp, titanosaur1.bandcamp.com. Why 1? Because somebody else picked Titanosaur. And I don't know who, because they don't have anything up there. Bastards. So Titanosaur1, the number 1.bandcamp.com. And new album's been out there since February, so check it out.
I already have. Listeners, it's y'all's turn to check it out because Steve Barnes has already heard it like 15 times. Y'all got to hear it the first time. I'm going to have the links right there that you can see in the show description. But if you were listening from the whole show, you heard So Happy at the beginning of the episode. If you didn't and you're just hearing this, I don't know how that happened, but Jeff has a real heavy hard rock metal sound. I would compare him to bands like Clutch or Kiss, Alice Cooper, any kind of like loud anthem type rock songs that are fun to sing along with. That's my man. Does that sound like an apt description or did I fuck up?
Cool. Kiss. Yes, I like it.
Okay, good. I don't know where James is. Is James still in line with you there?
Yes.
Yeah, tell him that the spotlight is on him.
James, the spotlight is on you. I don't know what that means.
That means it's plug time for James.
Oh, I think it sounds like he wants you to record yourself talking about the plugs.
Oh, yeah, great. Okay, so we know my co-host. He's James McCullum. We know him as Marshland Monster, but you can find him over there at Marshland Media, mlmpod.com. Yes, one finger, yes.
It's So I've got one camera, so I'm looking at James, and so I put up the one finger to James, but you're looking at the same camera, Steve, and so you see me put it. It's so yeah, you guys were both talking at the same time there. So I don't know, Steve.
I defer to
guess
James
Steve is
always. James is the expert, so he goes.
well. James said, yeah, just finish it off, and he'll record his things, and he'll send them over to you.
Well, I'm just going to ignore whatever he sends me. And I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want to say. Is that I listen to James weekly on Shuffling the Deck, which is his ICP podcast. I was never a fan of ICP, but now that I've been listening to his podcast, I've definitely gotten into their world. He hosts Mostly Speaking Sentai, and he's just starting up Hit It and Crit It, which is going to be his D&D podcast. They're going to start recording that again. Yeah, check him out on Patreon as well. Check me out. I have music on Spotify and all the streamers. It's Intro Void, and I have an upcoming EP coming that I'm not going to start talking about yet. I don't even know why I brought it up. I'm not doing anything like that. Just listen to my stuff. It's Intro Void at Instagram. And let's see. Let me get my book notes here because we got thrown through a couple of loops, but like the pros we are, we came through in the end.
Hey guys, it's James. Or wait. Hey, yeah, you can. Hey, go over to MLMpod.com to find out more information about my podcast, such as Mostly Speaking Sentai and Shuffling the Deck, plus the returning Hit It and Crit It. Ooh, baby, it's gonna be good. Ah! You can also find exclusive stuff, and the best way to support us would be going over to patreon.com/MLMpod and listen to my music wherever music is found over on Marshland Monster, wherever music's found, or by going to MLMpod.com. That's all I got. Follow me on Twitter at MSSPod. All right, that's all I got.
So from all of us here at Foul Orchard Studios, which includes myself, Marshland Monster, and Titanosaur, I say, Titanosaur, I hope that you always find water and shade in your life. Do you have like any kind of nice wish for me before we leave?
No.
No? You don't hope I find water and shade? You don't hope I have a good life or anything?
Live long and prosper?
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, that's another good quote from another good sci-fi fantasy series. I'm going to live long and prosper. I hope James does too. I hope he keeps putting music out and keeps doing beats. I've lost him now, so I hope I haven't lost him forever. But I'll call him back after this call. We'll get in touch. So, from us here, another flawless episode of Sweet Child of Time. Until next time, bye-bye.